as I say, ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, it is good afternoon to you. Welcome to our workshop. Oh, and gentlemen at the back, producer Rich. We're going to do some mediumship and some psychic art. I'm Ashley Robinson. I'm a spiritualist medium based out of Wimbledon in South London. I'll let Sophie introduce herself.
I'm Sophie Parker, and I'm studying an MA in art at the moment, and I've come into my development as a psychic artist, so it's all very new to me, so this is very exciting.
And Sophie's my cousin, and I've watched. I mean, she's still growing up now, but I've watched her grow up from a little girl, And we've started working together probably a couple of years ago when you were starting, not working. Yours is off.
Oh, wait,
Your mic is off. We started doing a bit of research at Women Spiritualist Church, and actually Sophie had loads of questions. She'd grown up with a family, known that part of the family were the spiritual ones. And as part of her reading, her communicator was inspiring her to do more. And actually, I didn't realise her art education was all about faith. Yeah. And it was all about her exploring sort of faith and asking questions and a few bits and pieces. And then we had the opportunity for me to give her some mentorship, and she was drawing afterwards. And she started doing automatic drawing. And she would keep a sketch pad, and she would wake up in sort of dream state. Sophie is going to draw something, and I'm going to get the communicator from what Sophie has picked up. We're going to do some sort of almost like blind stuff where Sophie is not looking at you and just drawing. I'm going to do some other stuff where she is looking at you and then drawing. And I want some verification. I want some feedback from you that it all makes sense. Everyone happy with the concept of what it is doing? So, good. All mediumship is experimental, in that sense. And what we're doing today is adding that sort of flavour to it. So initially, you don't need to look at anybody. You can just turn around. I want you to just start drawing what you're doing. And I'm going to bring forward my first communicator. I've got a man with me. As this man communicates with me, he talks about being family to someone in the room. He talks about being a father and a grandfather. He's given the letter R. R is significant for both you and the communicator. It's not his name. The letter S and Stevens is also important with him. This man, whose family's passed with heart failure, taking me over towards the left-hand side of his body. I think I'm down here somewhere. So I'm looking for someone to understand man, spirit world, family to you. It's passed with heart failure. Okay, the lady you're nodding. That makes sense as well at the moment. Okay. Now the 28th of March is my son's birthday at the end of this month, but I feel like March and the end of March is also important around an anniversary that you would be marking, that the communicator is also aware about as we approach sort of Easter, end of March. Okay, let me ask him. You do? Okay, that makes sense. Right. As he comes in, he looks forward to getting involved in the experiment. He does so with a certain amount of caution and sort of relevance. And there's this weird thing where he draws like a line in the sand of his feet. And he's like, you wouldn't ordinarily caught me. Okay. I think he's making fun of it, actually. Yeah, okay. He was just saying you'd have to catch me dead doing this, and I think he's trying to make a bit of a joke about it, right? But he's also, because I am dead, and you've now caught me doing it, but I'm experimenting with it. Actually, alive, I wouldn't have participated. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It would just show me a blue front door as well, with like a brass knocker. It's an inward opening door. I think it's hinged on the left-hand side, and I've got great pride around the step. Someone's looked after the step of this door, and I feel like it's gets a good cleaning and a deep cleaning. Okay, so as I give you that evidence, you understand who your communicator is. Okay, so looking, Sophie's starting to put a few things down on the drawing as well, which we're going to invite her to come in and explore. Just asking more for a message then about some of the things that are going on now. Okay, right, thank you. So I know that we're in Bournemouth and we're on the south coast, but he's taking me more central south around Brighton. Eastbourne, Worthing, okay, and he's just showing me that on the map, and I've got happy memories and experiences around that time. I've also, within my own links, and I know I say that I'm family to you, he talks about services within the family, and I've certainly had services at sea as well, you understand that, and I'm really standing to attention. I've got the shininess of the buttons and some sort of pride in that. He's also talking about lots of post-pride service as opposed to pride during service, and feeling different about it during service versus afterwards, and how the stories have sort of changed and evolved. Okay, thank you. He's saying to me at the moment, okay, he's aware of some healing needs, and he's on the right-hand side of your hip around that, and the fact that there's some healing that is continuing to come in your way, and he's talking about the importance of that. And he's also talking about he is a funny guy. I think he makes lots of like little jokes. Okay, because he was showing me this horse, and I was asking him, why are you showing me this horse? And he said it would be funny, and I said, why would it be funny? So at the very least, you can ask him why he's got a long face, and he's just like these little dad jokes as I sort of. He's sitting on a horse smoking, so the horse makes sense, and he's also making some fun with that. So he's a fun guy, and I've got this sort of vibrance with his personality. He doesn't want to take himself too seriously, particularly with this. Even though he appreciates he can communicate, for him it was a bit on the other end of that sort of spectrum. Okay, right. So let's have a look at what Sophie's been drawing as we're talking. So Sophie, tell the lady, and as you're doing this, try and turn to face her now, because you're engaging with her. Other people in the room are also interested. So folks, this is the element of the development for you as well. I know you're working at different standards. Sophie, come in just a little bit more.
Do you want me to
Stand on the other side of this, and just then tell her about what you've drawn and why you've drawn.
I started with the sense of family and family ties and like this interlinking. And then just before I actually got onto footprints, I was seeing like sound and sea and like footprints and this connection to like naval almost and service. And then to the door, I got the colour blue first, and then I drew the step and then the door, so I worked sort of backwards. And then drew a cigarette, which is funny about the story. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then the vibrance of the personality that came through, and then there's also the sense of self-care that is more for you than coming from him. Thank you.
Yeah, so it makes sense. You've understood the communicator. You've understood the drawing. So a bit like a collage, really, like a puzzle. And I don't know if you were watching her draw as I was talking, whether or not certain things were coming there. But rather than I say subconsciously, she's not listening to me and then drawing. She was drawing. So I think you gave the verification about the smoking on the horse right towards the end. But we had the cigarette there next to the door. What was this one, Sophie?
This was like the vibrant personality I was
Okay.
the comedic and
Yeah. An impact sort of speaker doesn't want the limelight as in famous, but is like impact comedy. And I'm going to say like, boom, I'm going to deliver a punchline quite well. You'd understand that. Almost like you show me in comic books, sort of, because it was interesting you saw that sign. Good. Okay, what about the circle at the top?
I was getting like a ring, but I don't really know how that fits into a ring.
There we go.
Oh,
So he's got his ring. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So always take everything from the drawing as well. Okay, good. Right. So that was your message. Thank you very much. Right. So what we're going to do something slightly differently now. So Sophie, I want you to turn around.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to tell me where you're drawn. So there's two main tables with people either side. But which table were you drawn to? This table over here, okay. Give me a number between 1 and 6.
4.
4. Okay, so Ashley Mills, right? So you're going to do a drawing for Ashley Mills, okay? So I want you to turn around the easel. Let's have a look. Right. So I want you to just continue to look at Ashley, okay, and just draw what is instinctive at the moment, okay? And you just sort of carry on with that. And I'm going to talk about something sort of not related, but the next message is going to be for Ashley. Sometimes we're going to pick up things, and I think, hands up anyone here that's working at some sort of level as a medium or as a healer. Yeah, over sort of half the room. So you're all working at different standards. And, if I talk about mind's eye, everyone know what I'm talking about when I talk about the mind's eye and sort of that blank canvas, really. And, with what Sophie's doing, she's not sat in any formal sort of circles. She's been learning to meditate over the last couple of years and doing things. And that's she keeps that blank canvas open in her mind. And then she's drawing the things, the vivid imagery that's being sort of put on top. And then sort of showing it in that sort of way. And what we'll do is I'm going to let her do that first without the influence of me, because you never know, subconsciously certain words may apply. So as she's looking at Ashley, she's focusing on that. We'll turn that around, and then we'll look to then establish who your sort of communicator is and what they're doing. The other thing which we're going to want to do is Sophie's been looking at guides. She's been looking at the understanding, meeting of guides and descriptions of guides. So just again as a show of hands, who in the room knows of at least one of their guides well enough to know to recognise them from some illustration. Okay, good. So almost all of you is at working, which is fantastic. I'll be honest, it took me years, even when I sat in circle, to even know. I knew there was a guide there, I knew they were directing me, but it took me ages to sort of work out their identity. What we might do is we might get Sophie to portray one of the guides as well, because you're working at that level. Not the sort of thing that necessarily goes down well in a spiritualist church for someone who's never been there for the first time, but I think that will work well with this group. And the other thing I'd sort of like to do is this idea of the communicator themselves influencing them more with Sophie on the drawing. So we'll try and get some more about a communicator. Okay, good. So interestingly, you've written words this time.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Good. So let's turn it around.
Doesn't look like a lot, but I'll
Okay.
work through it. You want me to talk about it?
Yeah. So what was the first thing you drew?
These, just a vibrational energy. I think it's both around you and within you. Yeah. So I had this sense of connection and grounding between the vibrations and like the earth within yourself, but then there's also this other entity being around you with like vibrations that was sort of holding you, and then I drew like a series of circles to like represent the body and like the center and the core, but it's like giving yourself more love and like self-care, but like I don't know, I was just drawn to like this inner core, and like protecting your inner self. Yeah, that's as far as I
Okay,
got
so
really.
Without any additional context, does that make sense on standalone? Good. So I think actually you should give you a round of applause. You've done a message totally on your own there. Let's unpack it a little bit. Okay. So just look at Ashley now, and then step in just a little bit so that everyone can see you online as well. Just instinctively answer some of these questions. Okay, but say it to Ashley. So was a communicator or communicators working with you? Was it one person or several?
One.
Okay, so one person was working with you. Did you get a male or female energy from them?
Male.
Okay, so you had a male communicator. Is this person friend, family, colleague, neighbour? Family. So we've got a family member. Okay, and then just so about what image they might now give you. What was their cause of death? That change that led them to spirit world. Where on your body would you be drawing? What body parts are they showing? We talk about, how did you end up in the spirit world?
I'm feeling it.
Okay, feeling it as well. Okay, that's fine. What can you see anything?
No, just
That's fine. You've got a sensation. What is it? Warmth.
like overwhelming warmth.
Okay, and are you all over your chest,
No,
left-hand side?
Left side.
Left side. Okay, it's around the heart. Symbolically, I always think about heart failure. So you now say I've got a male communicator who's talking about heart failure, cause of death, family is a link to you. And are they family on, mum's side, dad's side, or another link via family? Another link. Okay. So, in fact, you were here earlier on and Ashley shared that. So she also has adoptive family as well as biological family. So this is a link from family via or adoptive sort of family. There we go. Okay, so good. So just trust yourself. Let the drawing sings. Right. So the self-care bit, but actually you understand now who the male communicator was, the family with the heart failure as well, the adoptive family. You understand why they're sort of talking about. So with this bit here, just look at the drawing again. Why are they sharing that? Okay, because if it's something that she knows about her, why is it important that they've mentioned this? Are they excited about it? Are they sad about it? Are they happy about it? Are they angry about it? Could they not care about it?
It's happy, but I think it's. Don't let your vibrations.
And now turn to Ashley and say that.
Don't let your vibration be compressed. Yes, or suppressed.
Okay, so wants her to continue to expand, continue to do that. Recognise that she's got a good grounding. I mean, you've given a really solid foundation there, and the lines are bigger, okay, like an inverted pyramid. Okay, so we talk about foundations, don't we? Pyramid stability, nice and stable. We think about inverting that from a foundation. Platform's got stronger and bigger each time. So you've got really good, solid ground. Keep building on that, because I know you're aware of so much more frequency. You understand that, okay? So that's good. You're drawing that, and you spoke about the connections between that, how the foundation is important. So you can say to them, we always try and say, we never ask questions, do we? I don't know if everyone's been taught that. My guides were always really strict about it. We don't ask questions, we tell people. So we say, you would understand why this communicator is saying how important it is that you've got this foundation and you should continue to expand, continue to work with all of the different things that are going on. And yeah, she sounds, yes, she does. Good. You know, that was really good. Okay. So, hands up. Oh, good. Yeah, round of applause. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about a guide. And Sophie's still getting to know her own guide team. You know, lots of us have different things. My first guide that I was aware of was someone I'd known while they were alive. And in circle, it was presented to me that they were working with me, and I knew they were around me. They were like a godfather figure to me. It was only years later that I really established they weren't really my mediumship guide at all. But I'd found it easier to contextualise the fact that I knew them. And Sophie's doing that at the moment. She knew someone while she was alive, but she was very, very little. And they've continued to work with her now as an adult, and she's got that relationship with her, and she's now finding out about her guide team. So everyone put their hands up again who knows one of their guides. Okay, so there's a few people in the room. We've done something on this table. So on this table, just keep your hands up again. Choose someone with their hand up.
Lady in green.
Lady in green. Okay. So just start drawing. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about that sort of concept of a guide. And this time I'm going to annotate as the draw is coming in. But what I'm not going to do for you, okay, because I want you to do it on blind faith, is you just keep drawing. Okay. So we're going to do silent verification for me. I'll tell you to stop drawing if there's wrong, but just keep drawing. So, you know, as Sophie sort of develops this, well, I'm asking, you know, those vivid images she's getting in your head are coming from your guide. So I'm trying to build a collective consciousness with one of your guides. If you and I try and focus so that we're thinking about the same person and they're making themselves aware to sort of, you know, my guide team. So we've got, I think, is that a hat? Yeah, so we've got a hat that's just been drawn there. Okay, so keep drawing, Sophie, that's really good. And we're trying to get them to influence in sort of vivid imagery. And one of the things I'd said to Sophie when we developed, which was always a great tool for me, does anyone remember that game Guess Who? Yeah, love sort of Guess Who, you know, and you'd say, is it a man or is it a woman? I mean, it's 2023, we'd have to have non-binary and transgender, all sorts, but, you know, is it a man or a woman? And you could knock down half of the Guess Who. And when I'm ever helping someone develop, I'm like, try and establish that communicator. But of course, in the spirit world, gender's less relevant. But I find that a lot of my guides who had an earthly incarnation are still attached to the personality they had. Most people say that. There's an identity that they're happy to share with, even if it's less relevant to them now. Just because we as human beings quite like that, don't we? We like to find out a bit about them. So we've got the hat. And what is that you've written there?
I think it's female, and I'm getting a necklace and like just well dressed.
Okay, so we've got the significance of a well-dressed female with a necklace as well. Okay, yes, keep going. And the other thing I think I always sort of saying to people is, the more we can know our guides, the more we can rely on them, the more we can let them sort of come in and do those bits and pieces. So you've written down 1920s to 30s.
I don't know, I've got that.
I thought it was your bank account number then. Oh, that's really unusual.
Yeah, just in case, you know.
Yeah, PIN code. Get the PIN code next one. So 1920s to 30s.
That's the fashion sense that I'm getting.
That's the fashion sense from the female as well. Okay, keep going, and just draw what sort of comes to mind. But so you understand the significance of the hat in relation to the guide. Okay, so we know that. We've got this 1920s, 30s female as well. So is this, and this all connected?
I think so.
You think it's all connected as well? Would that make sense to you? Okay. This was the communicator during the experimental seance. Okay. So quite good. So yeah. Okay. So your guide who'd given you that information yesterday, doing a bit of paraphrasing from last night and influencing Sophie as well. So experimental seance last night, folks. We were doing different things, and so what was your name? Sarah was saying that, you know, her team had presented her with a communicator. And these images, which have been quite vivid for Sophie, have been relayed by the guide. Okay, so rather than Sophie's guide saying, I'm giving you the next message, we've asked the guide to work, and that's sort of a collective consciousness. And we've got that. We've got a purse or emails.
I think it's a handbag.
Yeah, handbag as well. And these were some of the imagery and the symbolic stuff that you were picking up on as well. Okay, so this communicator, they weren't known to you with the communicator. They were a new communicator yesterday. Okay, so let's now ask some more information, because we didn't have time last night. We got time now.
So last night, the guide on the stage got very elegant. He wrote elegant. Yeah. So that's what I was picking up last night.
Yeah, so the real sense, which is good. A good, nice sort of collective consciousness. So, let's find out more about the communicator. Because last night we opened up the parameters. We said you don't have to know people in the room, but you've got to make yourself known. So, let's now think of the name. So you're not going to look at Sarah, isn't it? Okay. Sarah and I are going to be focusing on a letter. So alphabet letter, 26 letters. We want this communicator to give us a letter from part of their name, and I want you to do the same. So just 26 letters. Just write down a letter, a bit like Hangman. Okay. And you and I just focus on that just for a minute. Okay. What was your letter? You got B. So add the letter B. Yeah. Okay. And I got an S, right? Which one I add to S? So okay, this is next to it. So I've got a Ms. Okay. And I've got, I think, a widow here that I was picking up on, and the B. And the B is okay. There's a village, and there's a car village, and I've got this water, the stream, like Bewley Car Museum. Okay. So it's collective consciousness. So try and get her surname, and I've got like something like looks like a Bewley or some sort of sentence. So yeah, just write. I don't even know how to spell that, but I remember going there as a kid to the Bewley Car Museum. Is it the Cotswolds or somewhere like that? That beautiful New Forest. So not far from here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got the water. You agree as well. So we got this lady. She's from around this area. Okay, so let's ask you some more. So is that passing or birth? 1920s to 30s. You agree with that? Passing? Okay. Yeah, so we're establishing who this communicator is. Thank you, love. Keep working for us. Okay, cause of death. Okay, so I want you to just draw a stick person for me for a second. Right. Now you mark on that drawing, okay, where part of their body started to let them down as a vessel. So you just do that, and then you and I do the same. Okay, that's exactly where my hands are. Okay, and we've got, so between the arms and the neck, so that here, and we're around the sort of stomach. Okay, so we've got stomach sort of problems. Okay, and you've got that there between the stomach and the chest. Yeah, so I've got something there that has affected the breathing, and there's been an impact around the chest. I'm also getting this sensation of smoke, okay, with her, and I'm asking her a little bit about that. Okay, and there's a sense of liquid or fluid on the lungs. Do you pick up on that as well? Okay, is it a taste? Okay, because I'm getting a funny. Okay, you can taste alcohol. Okay. You sobered up from yesterday, right? I'm joking. Okay, so we've got a Mrs. Bewley from in and around the area, an elegant lady of the 1920s and period. That's talking about this stomach and chest related conditions. We've got this taste, this alcohol. Okay, I've also got this slip or a trip or a fall, and I've got into water, and I've got fluid on my lungs. I think I've been at a party and I've come out from smoke. Okay, that's what she's telling me. So I've got a lady here claiming to have drowned in shallow water. Okay. She's talking about the fact that her stomach had not been feeling right. People have been smoking around her. And I've got one of those long extended, the cigarillos or whatever they're sort of called. I've got that lady giving that sensation. She's come out to get some fresh air. Okay, I think I'm actually at a boat. You've got the water. Yeah. I think I've got a boat, and I've gone out to grab it, and I've actually gone overboard. And I've fluid my lungs.
Just started drawing a deck.
You just started drawing a deck on a boat. Okay, so we've got there. So Mrs. Bewley that's come forward to say hello. Drawn to the attention last night. Not far from here, the promenade. I've got a sense of a promenade or a promenade being close to here and the East Cliff. And she's sort of come in to say hello today and be part of the weekend. But the three of us have now collaborated on that. Initial communication you made yesterday via your guide. And we've asked your guide to step forward and give us some vivid imagery which matches what you said. And then as a collective consciousness, the three of us have placed what we are satisfied with represents her life. So, Mrs. Bewley and the Elegance and Pearls, thank you very much for working with us, and you may continue to go back into the light. Thank you for sharing that story with us. So thank you, Sarah and Sophie. Well done. Good. So as part of doing this workshop, I just wanted to experiment with the different ways we can work with vivid and sort of imagery and those sort of bits and pieces. Just start drawing again. Okay. Just start anything that pops into your mind. Okay. And I'm going to link in with them. I'm going to let Sophie draw again first. If you've got, a communicator, certainly those who work in medium, if you've got a communicator that either you know or you know for someone in the room, try and get them to just focus on influencing Sophie with a vivid imagery. Does anyone in the room draw or as an artist? Shaz, you do this psychic art as well. Dawn, you do a bit of this as well. Okay. Okay. So draw a stick person again. Okay. Now, man or woman? Draws. Okay, man. Where on the body did it hurt? Don't think too much about it, just go to where you draw them.
It's like left arm and chest again.
Left arm and chest, okay. Any other, I'm getting multiple bits of the body, so where else in the body is this connected?
I don't know why I drew his legs so far down. That looks dodgy.
So it was only a stick person, it wasn't,
Here and I'm getting something.
E-fit sketch for the local police, it'd be all right. Okay, so we got the head, right. Interesting, because I just picked up someone that suffered a stroke and his left-hand side of the body affected by an injury on the right-hand side of the brain, okay, which he's drawn there. So that's good sort of convergence. Right, friend or family in the room?
Family.
Family, okay. So in the room, we've got someone here that's going to understand a member of their family who has had a stroke, and we believe right-hand side, actually, I know we're on the right drawing, but I'll just touch the left-hand side of my body. Anyway, and that happens a lot with strokes. I've had an injury or an impact on one side of the brain and it's been affected. It's affected my leg and my arm as well. Anyone understand what we said initially? Okay, right, so we've got family. Give me a family name, first letter of the alphabet in relation to family name. Okay, T for Tango. Okay, so someone here will understand the family name of T for Tango. Christine, you understand this? Your father. Did he have a stroke? He had a brain op, okay? So could we use the word injury to begin with? And I spoke about that, so brain op. And do you know if this then affected other parts of his body? Okay? So Christine understands communicator, father, and the letter T was symbolic for him. Tom, okay? There we go. Right, so now let's look at the rest. Wore glasses, okay? We've got the dice. There's something about the dice and the odds and the likelihood. I almost want to gamble with a dice and play with a dice. Would that make sense to him? Okay. Enjoyed a short drink? Yep. Okay. This is a boat.
Yeah,
okay.
but I think it's more sailing. Yeah.
In Navy. So Navy links. So we've got ladies, father, it's communicating, naval links, enjoyed a gamble and a drink. Sounds like a good bit of fun, doesn't he, this guy? But wore his glasses. Okay. He's the gamble on the pools. Okay, good. So we've got some communicating. Okay. So, do me a rising scale with 12 points on it. Okay. Okay. These are the months. Yeah. No, it's fine. Just 12 points. Okay. I want you, Christine, to think about an anniversary symbolic to him. Okay. No, you just circle one of them now. Which one does he tell you to circle? Okay. So Jennifer, March. Okay, your birthday. There we go. Right. So 1 in 12 guess, but he's directed you. Okay. So using the art as well, we can work with our art. We can use it as a tool. if I was drawing, you'd be playing what is actually drawing game. You know, it'd be that type of thing. But I think if you've got the ability to work with vivid imagery as well. So we've actually got quite a bit about this communicator. Okay. So from an investigation point of view, we've got Tommy, we've got a man, we've got the brain injury, we've got connections to the body, we enjoy the drink, the navel links, the glasses, and we've got March anniversary. It's your birthday in March in particular. Okay. So it'd be 1 in 30 guess this time, but I don't want you to guess. I want him to tell you. Okay. You know, is it the beginning of the month, the end of the month, the middle of the month? He wants to celebrate around the middle of the month. Okay, there we go. So, you know, and we can narrow that down again, and the stronger the communication, you know, goes. And obviously, it's nice to finish on 3 yeses, so I don't want you to give, you know, give out a number. But, you know, if you know it's the middle of the month, so we know we're already around the 15th. We can say, does 15th feel right, or is it more or less?
Slightly more.
Slightly more than the 15th, yeah. There we go. Okay, right. So, yeah, you're within 5 or 6 days of that, and you're asking them to influence. And that's without talking to you. It's just within your mind zone. Good. So, Christian, you've understood this communicator, right? Now, just draw a couple of other things, add to the drawing about why has he come today? Why is he just here to say hello? Does he say he's all right? Just draw a couple of things that he's now vividly going to put in your mind. What is it he wants to portray why he's here?
Can I write things?
You can write things, yeah, of course you can. Peace. Okay? So he comes in peace.
And he's at peace.
Oh, he's at peace.
There's no pain, it's just peace.
Okay, so he wants to share that. So there was questions about how he was feeling, and I know that you've got an understanding of spiritualism anyway, Christopher, but he wants to say, I am at peace, okay? And actually, he's telling me that this became quite a nuisance for him, and frustrated, yeah? And I felt almost aggressive inside myself that I was unable, and I'm at peace. Parkinson's as well. So he's talking about all this frustration, and he's now talking about this relief, and he's talking about the peace that he is at now. And that's important for him to be able to share that, to confirm it, to verify that for you as well. Okay, and what does he want to say? Think about something else that he's going to say to Christine. Give me a headline, something he's going to say to Christine. Yeah, do that as an image. Folks, afterwards, if you've had drawings and you want to take the drawing with you, tenner. No, I'm joking. You can come and take the drawing as well. And if you want to take a picture of it, share it, on social media, you're welcome to do that as well. Okay. We've got lovely flowers there. Okay. So one's in bloom, one's not yet opened. Okay. So 2 pathways, 2 options. We've got the flowers. We've got establishment. Okay. We've got the beauty. Okay. About the now or the past.
Yeah, and I think
now.
This
okay.
is,
yeah. So turn to Christine.
I think this is.
You arrange flowers?
Oh,
Okay, so the flowers has got double significance.
Yeah, and it was just a thing of me having to write it so you don't forget it. So I don't know if there's something that you're arranging flowers for that's really important, like coming up. He said don't forget.
Okay, good. So we've got the wedding, we've got different flowers in. So I'd misinterpreted that as one in bloom and one in not. You said no, and it's always really important. We've got to go with what we have. Good. So we've got the flower there. We've got the meaning. Don't forget the wedding. When are they getting married, Sophie? Go to your chart. Get him to tell you. What is that? So March, April, May, June, July. Got a summer wedding? No. Okay. So why is the tetanus there? Ask him, because he's drawn you there. What's happening in July? Another reason to celebrate? A mark in time? Just draw. I don't mean that sounds horrible. Just draw. Draw.
Just draw.
Yeah. Try not to think too much about it.
Because I can't. I don't feel like.
Yeah, the wedding's before July, isn't it? Yeah, but we've got celebration afterwards. In fact, it's a delayed honeymoon. Yeah. Okay, and we've got a celebration after that. Okay. So the message can be: he won't be at the wedding, but he's going to check in on the honeymoon. No, joking. Yeah, or whatever it is. Maybe there's a bit of fun there, Or I'm aware of the wedding. I'm also aware, you spent a lot of money on the honeymoon, or not a lot of money, got a good deal. You've had to delay it, you've had to push it away, but we're there towards the summer. Okay, there we go. So there's the significance of that. Good, Christine. You understand your message? Okay, good. Yeah, good work. Round of applause. Well done. Thank you, Christine. Everyone happy with what we're doing? Yeah. I wanted to be born. I know because we've got a workshop, I want to make it a bit more interactive. I know you're working at sort of different standards. Right. So I'm going to bring in another communicator, and Sophie's going to draw simultaneously at the same time. So, right, I've got a woman that's communicating with me. I'm married, and I'm a sibling. I'm a sister. Got a letter C on my chest, symbolic for cancerous type condition. I think I'm over here. D. Got this letter D, and I don't know if I was just reaching out to Dad, or I've also got a Danielle or a Danny. But this did sound nice. Okay. Let me try and understand. Right. To you. Okay, so this female communicator that's a woman would know you as family. The communicator itself is married, okay, and I'm calling her family. She keeps taking me back to this wedding ring finger. I don't know if I'm therefore related to you via marriage as part of the family, or whether or not I'm blood. But I was certainly married. I was a sister. You'd understand that as well. I had siblings. Cancer. The cancer type. I feel like I've had growths. I don't know what cancer is a growth, but I've had multiple sort of spreading out of that. The letter D was significant to you?
To her,
yep.
yes.
Okay. I've lived with limiting pain. Okay, this has limited my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did, yeah.
I know that all cancer is painful, but she's particularly taking me towards the right-hand side of my body, and I feel like she's swearing. Cancer's a B, right? And she was like, just as I thought it was one area and it was under, I feel they detected other things going on. Right. And she said, psychologically, it was a sucker punch to me, because I felt like I targeted and focused all my efforts, only to be hit with like a secondary blow. Okay, there's also an element of the treatment and me getting choices around what to do next, and not feeling that I wanted to go through what I'd gone through with the first bit. You understand that? And I carried some anger emotion with that. Okay. I do feel there's either a change of doctor, something to do with the diagnosis. There's something that I'm not happy about, that while I was alive, I felt that they had missed their opportunity. Okay, and she was talking about carrying that anger through what she's discussed with the passing and the death, but she's also talking about giving it back to the universe, having sort of got this side. Okay, so she's mentioned here the family. We've got the significance of her wedding ring. Okay, that's good. Right, so you've got the cycle of doctors. You mentioned that, so feel like there's a team of people involved, but not all necessarily communicating or agreeing with each other. Okay.
Multiple growths, so
You've drawn
like
that.
the cancers and
Yeah.
stuff, the decline in mobility, and like the up and down of that. You're clear, you're not clear, like that.
Yeah.
Yo-yoing.
Yep.
I put 4 down. I don't know what that represents within the family.
4 within the family circle. You understand that with her?
Yeah, 3 children and a stepdaughter.
Okay. And there's the 4 within that family circle, and that's sort of that circle of immediate trust. What have we got here? These
Like bells. I can hear them, but I don't.
Our children were together at a church school, and the bells used to ring.
Okay. We got the symbol of that.
And then like constellations and like night skies. I don't know.
I'm not sure
That much
what that's related to,
Yeah.
apart from maybe my husband, who's an astronomer, and she didn't know him. She died just before I met him, but so she might be.
Okay. So she's
Yeah.
giving you a bit of verification. Does that
Yeah.
feel right? If
Yeah.
so, ask her to draw something else about that. What is it she's trying to say? Because she now knows of him, likes him, doesn't like him. Let's hope she likes him. Yeah. Or you know, and you know, as a medium, one of the things I'm saying to Sophie, we all have that personal discipline of what we decide to share with the client anyway. Yeah. So she loves him. She can feel the love between him and you.
Appreciation, I think.
Yeah. And she likes him. He knows what he's doing with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she understands the significance of it now. More now or less now? Was she into stars and astrology?
More now.
Okay. And she learning from him? Yeah. She's been interested in it as a result?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So about you bring him into life, she's become more interested in it. She's saying he's good at it, and I like him, and I like the fact he loves you, and I can feel that love. nice mention. See, friend. I know we've said about family link, but I've got friendship, real friendship with you.
Yeah, she wasn't actually family, but she comes through like family. She was my best friend.
Okay, because she just keeps talking about that. But you're my family. I've chose for you to be my family. Okay, and there's that real sense, which is why I call you family. And I talk about the wedding ring. Okay, yeah, thank you. Right, she was just saying about that. Just right now, you wrote peace earlier on as a sort of headline message. I'll ask to give you just another couple of headlines, as I know what she's trying to say to me in my head as well. Kindness. It's yours, isn't it? Your kindness to me. Okay.
I was with her when she died, actually.
Yeah.
But and Adisa had two of her sons are D's and her partner's a D as well. So
Okay, and Sophie's right in reflection and appreciation. Okay, for what you did in those moments, but that kindness right through. There's an element of my consciousness not being fully engaging with you at the end. You understand that?
yes.
Yeah, and she's talking about the fact I still felt the kindness all the way through to the end, and I want to say thank you to that.
That's where that comes in as well.
Okay, so
Feeling like that's she felt it when you were there, and even though she couldn't vocalise it, she could feel it.
Yeah, she was probably fed up because we were talking about some of the things she'd got up to. We had another friend, we were laughing and just chatting away as if she was.
Okay.
So, yeah.
just draw a round circle like an oval as if it's a face. Okay, but she's just told me, and don't answer me yet, but she's telling me you kissed her. Where did she kiss her on the face? Okay, forehead.
I didn't, but the friend that was with us did.
Okay, and she's talking about almost end of like chapter
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I got kissed on the forehead. There we go. So it just shows you again the synchronicity. She's sending you a love. She's grateful to be here today. Thank you for your kindness. As I can reflect, and I can really appreciate that and what you did for me. All right. Thank you very much. That was your message. Okay, that's one. Good message. Right, portrait. Start drawing a person for me. Okay. So I'm asking the communicator to influence themselves in the drawing, and we're going to go for facial features. So looking for people. Before I bring the communicator too much further, I want us to recognise features about this character as they start to influence themselves. They create this vivid imagery. What I am being told, which is relevant to this, is they are appearing slightly younger, slightly better looking in the vivid image that they're giving to Sophie than what they were at the end of this life. Okay. Okay, so think about the shape of the face. The eyebrows, I'm being told, are quite significant as well, particularly the spacing between the eyebrows. You would understand that. You're doing good. Okay. And with the youth, I've got slightly more hair in this vivid image I'm giving to Sophie than what I would have had towards the end of my life. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself.
That's okay. So is it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Right. So
We'll
yeah,
start
turn around
there.
so people can see. So first of all, anybody recognise this person? Okay. Turn it a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a man here, and they're telling me that they present themselves a little bit younger. I'm being told 20, 25 years younger. Okay, so add a little bit more experience to this person at the end of their life. More hair certainly here than they had. Very thin on top, but I feel like I've tried to maintain a style over those last 25 years with less hair. But there was less to part in the middle, and more that was left from the sides. That was what he was just saying to me there. The eyebrows. The eyebrows. He's saying he is a he, isn't it? Yeah. He's just saying to me that I did. Thanks a lot. He's taking fun of me. So my eyebrows almost joined in the middle, and he said that was a sign of a psychopath. I was like, oh, thanks a lot. But he's saying he didn't like it, and for him it was important that his eyebrows were further apart. But he's telling me he also used to shave in the middle to maintain that gap, and they're slightly sort of wider. What colour are his eyes, Sophie?
Brown.
Okay, so we've got brown eyes. Friend or family? Family. So we've got someone here that's going to recognise a member of their family, but you're going to think back about a photograph of them a little bit younger. Write down a letter from their name, from the alphabet. Okay, N. N for November. This first name or family name? Family name. Okay. I've got a family name that almost sounds like a first name as well, like a Nathan. Norman, okay, yeah, and that would be a first name that could also be a last name. So, a little bit. Okay, sorry.
I don't know a Norman person.
Yeah.
Fireman Sam, the naughty kid's Norman, isn't he? That's his first name. So, but you would understand Norman as a last name with him. Yep, that's your name as well. Okay, right. This would be family to you. This man.
Yeah, later in life glasses, I think.
Okay, but you have. Yeah, we're all a family, right? Father. You have a father in the spirit world that would also that would have the same name as well. Heart-related condition. I've had heart failure with this father figure to you when he's passed this world. Okay. Right. No, but Norman's your name. Yeah, that's fine. So ignore that with him because I was asking for significance. So understand. But your father is in the spirit world, and did he have the heart failure? Okay, right. Okay. Well, a lot of complications going on. I've got a smell of nicotine or tobacco, not nicotine. That's what I can smell from him. Okay. I've got that sense of tobacco with him. Just come out the way just so that she can see the joint a little bit more. So he's telling me much younger than what I was when I passed. I almost feel like I'm in my 20s. You would have known me from photographs. There's a black and white photograph of me, the weird one where I'm almost like standing to attention, quite a formal photograph of me. He was just saying, well, I did have the short hair, not exactly cropped, but a short back and sides where the hair is falling slightly to the side. It's a black and white photo that he was just talking about here. And I'm almost like standing to attention for the photograph. That's what he was just saying there. Letter J as well with him. I've got within the family, is it? Yeah, okay. Like lips. Look at me in the lips. He had hair towards the end of his life. Yeah. So he's like, I want to take off the top. Yeah.
Was trying to put some on.
Yeah, and he sets a sense of coma and that. But yeah, I was just saying because I've got this not vainness, but I'm aware of this, and I preferred it with hair. I preferred me with hair, and I enjoyed that. I did have nice lips. There's something about my lips, and I can remember that. What else are you picking up with him? No? I remember, you haven't done an EFIT sketch. You've done it from vivid sort of imagery.
Yeah.
Down into sort of points. What is he telling you about him? What would he be saying to this lady if he's a father?
I'm just getting this, that he just wants me to show him as young.
Okay.
Just young and with hair and attractive.
Yeah. And yeah, it's this real sense of, first thing I did this side was recreate a younger version of myself. Yeah. When I realised that heaven could be anything I needed it to be, I recreate a younger version of myself. And I'm striding, and I'm bringing my legs up high, and I'm moving. There's an element of me forcing myself to walk forward a bit, and I feel like I'm having difficulty. 1 minute I'm struggling to be straight, 1 minute I'm sort of not stable on my feet, and I feel like I want to be able to hold on to things. And I've recreated this sense of body without any imperfections, okay? And I feel quite that. When I was much younger, I don't know if it was ballroom dancing that I was into, okay? Because he's just sort of wanting to sort of dance, and he's sort of light on his feet. And as he brings this real sense of youth and vibrance and stuff that's with him, he's just sort of showing him free of pain, free of any mobility issues. And I just feel like I can hear the music, and I'm sort of just relaxing into it, okay? I don't want the limelight. I don't want too many people looking at me, actually. I'm dancing because no one's looking at me. You understand that? But fun. But there would be something about with you that I would have enjoyed making you laugh, okay? Particularly when you were much younger, as opposed to annoyance. I annoyed your mum. I had very little filter in what I said. I didn't filter out my words. I spoke very much what I thought was going on, okay? And I know that, okay, your mum's in the spirit world as well, yeah. So I know that annoyed mother. That I didn't say a lot, and then when I did, I often did it without thinking about the impact of what I'd said. I just gave my opinion. At least you always knew where you stood. But I'm still paying for that now, because she brought us all up better, and she's talking about bringing me up. Even okay, thank you. Right, this woman that's claiming to be your mother was just stepping in. She goes, I took over from his mother, and I kept bringing him up, and there was this element of me not just being married to him, but looking after him. Okay, and mum enjoyed that sense of looking after, real control of the family. 3, we've got the music, we've got the fun. Yeah. Okay, N was for you. That would be your name, married name. Good man. He was a good man. Made him work hard. Something about that, okay? Your father and your husband, your dad, this man claimed to be your dad, was just saying something about, I don't know if he felt he had to work hard for verification. We made him work slightly harder for verification from him. Does that make sense? Well, let me ask him what he's trying to say. Oh, no, he did. Right. Your dad is just saying, your husband worked hard, and I want to verify it. I want to let him know. I know he worked hard. It was important for me. Right. You have a partner in the spirit world? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not killing off your husband. Don't worry. Yeah. No, I'm not going to kill him off. Actually, your mum and dad are married. Okay. Yeah. Your dad was just making reference to the one that's alive. Because I met him earlier on, didn't I? He worked hard. He's worked hard, and I want to verify that he's worked really hard. But there's a man that just suddenly popped in that was showing everything up. I was, when you said you did have a partner, I worked less hard for that and needed that verification, but I'm working hard now. Okay, and there's this sense of him having experiences up here that are quite an investment for him, and there's a change of character. I'm filtering out a bit. Oh, okay, very much silo. This man that's claiming to have been a previous ex-partner of you is talking about the fact that he felt like he was cut from a mould and lived a life as that person, and he's spanning out a little bit more. Like a Russian doll, he's doing more, and he's continuing to invest in himself. Okay? A bit wider thinking, a bit more to do. Okay? And your dad was working him up here as well. But your father knew him first, okay, and then they're in the spirit world together, and your dad recognising your husband that's here at the moment, hard worker. And I want to say that. Send him my love, okay? Send him my love to both of you. Okay, free, out of pain, enjoying the music, light on my feet, less mobilities. Towards the end, there was also quite a lot going on in my head psychologically, and also the mental health of what was going on with the brain. I feel like everything wasn't firing. It's like an old engine that was firing and misfiring, and I wanted to say, all gone, recreated without any of the imperfections, back to light feet. Okay. All right, good, Sophie. Thank you very much. That was your drawing, your message. Okay, right. Okay. Draw a home.
A home?
Yeah, front and elevation of the family home. Okay, I feel like I'm over here. I've got a woman that's just communicating with me at the moment, and I was asking what Sophie should draw, and she was talking about the front elevation of a family home. I might even be with Shirley or Barbara. This lady is mother. I'm steady. Put that away. Thank you. Right. Okay, so got a lady here claiming to be mum. Okay, mum had some real mobility issues towards the end of her life. She's talking about. I think Shirley, I'm with you. Okay, right. Shirley, it's okay to work with you. Okay. Right, I've got a woman here claiming to be a mum, okay? And I know a lot about you. You've been around my entire life, but I'm asking her to give me proper evidence. So she's given me the letter J, okay? And I feel that this is an anniversary month, and I feel like I'm out of winter, so I'm into summer. It's June or July is an anniversary, which you continue to mark in a calendar. I've been around celebration for... Sorry? Yeah, and you still mark that? Okay. Yeah, she's telling me about that. I've asked to what she was going to influence, and she's talking about, okay, right, this isn't where we lived, this is where we stayed. There's something, it's where you stayed, right. Shirley, there is a house that you went to when you were very little. I've sent you to a place of safety. Okay, right, that's what she's showing to me, and she's talking about going there. She sent you there for safety. I wasn't with you, but I feel like I've been able to go to the house. Okay, and I want to talk about that. Your own little world. You're in your own little world there, and there was like a fairy kingdom almost in your own little world. Yeah, and she's talking about going there and being impacted by it, and the big tree. You were there with there was other children that used to meet around. There was like interconnecting houses. Yeah. 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 And she was talking about the rendezvous by the tree, and going to the tree. You had a couple of years there, I think, but there was a summer in particular that was quite warm, and you went there for shade. And she's talking about being in the house, and she knows that the image is still very much, and the experience and the memories are still in your house. There is also this, you understand that when you came back from that, I had regretted sending you there. I'd found it quite hard. And in a way, I was disappointed that we hadn't been bombed, because it would have justified you not being there. And you understand that I had this sense of guilt, and I found it difficult to sometimes talk about that period. Yeah. Close calls. Yeah. My glass went, she said. Yeah. 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 So, she's giving them memories, and the guilt that I felt, because it feels like things had got worse while you were living there. When you went away, things seemed okay. And I felt that sense of guilt that I had sent you away and I'd not been able to be with you. But there was also an element of me having to carrying on. I know there was a huge element of everyone having to keep calm and carry on, but she's just saying that guilt she felt stayed with her a long time. But actually going to the house and understanding more about the experiences, she knows it was also part of your experiences and part of your foundations. She also knows that you never held it against her. But it was in passing, in transition to that. So she's showing the cottage. There was a cat at the cottage. She was just the cat.
I can't remember the cat.
The cat from next door that used to come into there was a barn. There was an outbuilding, and she said there was a cat.
I can't remember too much about that.
Yeah, used to play with the mice. Not always catch them, but play with the mice in the outbuilding. She was just telling me. Yeah, I've got love. I've got safety here. I've got friendship.
I'm getting like daisy chains.
Oh, daisy chains, friendship bracelets.
We would have gone up to the back field, and the girl I lived with,
Yeah.
and we thought that's
You had the open fire in there. It was a very cold house, but very warm around the fire.
round, and there were one of those little small crates, wasn't it? But it was nothing.
Yeah. So she's sort of putting that image in my head and done the same in yours. So yeah, you recognise the house and the image. Okay, good. So and she's been there. Okay, so it's important for her to share that with you, that she has been there, and she's at peace of it. She knows it was this place of love and safety, and the friendship, still stands. You broke the rule. You're a very good spiritualist, but you fed the medium, and you told me that information. But she was talking about that importance. Yeah, no, it's fine. Add a few more things about the message for sort of Shirley, And there are things I know actually that you don't. Okay, the revisit. So add something about who else might be up in heaven with Shirley's mum. Okay, and draw or any animals, anything symbolic to that. Okay, so aunt, is that the mum's sister? Mum's sister in the spirit world as well? Yeah. Well, I'd like to say they're all there, but there's only one that she's mentioning right now. What's the name of the aunt that she's mentioning to? 26 letters. Write the first one down. Okay, letter A. Okay, right. Draw an animal. Yeah, I'm asking someone to put something in your head. Okay, is it a rabbit? Yeah. Okay, so we've got a rabbit that's come in. Okay. What colour? White. Not all of you are on the coach. Our coach driver started talking to about summer cows. He said, you ever look for summer cows? And when we found the cows, he said, yeah, that's good. He said, because look, there's white ones, black ones, brown ones. He said, some of them are white, some of them are brown. Yeah, some of them, yeah. There's summer cows. It sort of reminded me. And your mum was just making fun of that with the rabbits. Different rabbits throughout the time in the history. Who else might Shirley's mum have up in spirit with her? Who wants to sort of say hello and share their life? Okay, we've got Father in the spirit world as well. Yep. Okay, what was his name? Don't think, just write.
I'm just getting drawn to a T.
T. Letter T symbolic between you and Dad?
No, but it would be my mum's older brother, T.
Okay. You're a good member of the congregation. You make everything fit, but I love that. But if it's a no, it's a no. We always have to treat the no. It's good. Nicely. You've had a few more years on me in this earth. You probably know all 26 letters of the alphabet in heaven. So I'm not saying that to be naughty, but it's recognising. I've also said I know Shirley, and I've grown up with her around her. And just from the point of sort of development, I think it's always good to sort of be transparent. Carrier bag mediumship is something Gordon Higginson used to talk about. Anyone ever heard that term before? And he always just say, don't do it. So carrier bag mediumship is like, you understand the letter T, and you say no, so I'll let you take that way. Think about it. I'll always be able to find someone, and I think as a good sort of rule, you don't do carrier bag mediumship. Don't give things for people to take away. If they can't take it as something, you say, well, I won't give it to them. If it makes relevance or significance to them afterwards, that often happens. I mean, those of you that work in churches, not everyone remembers everything at the right time, and suddenly they come back to you, won't they, 2 weeks later, and they'll say something about the letter T. So why is he giving the letter T? Is the T symbolic for something else? Is it about a teapot? Is it about a golf tee? Is it about a teddy bear? We have to ask him now. He's given us the T. What's symbolic about that? It is about a teddy bear. About a teddy bear that he brought you. If you can't remember yesterday, that's not a problem. I'm going to give you the teddy bear. It's a brown one, okay? And there's a photograph of you, a little girl, and you're holding it by the left arm of the teddy bear. It was a brown teddy bear, and it got quite tatty, but you refused to get rid of it. And I repaired it a few times. Okay. Do you remember the photograph then, if you don't remember the memory? No? The one with the broken button eye. Yeah. Let's get your daughter on the phone. Let's get round your house. We're going round your home, Shirley. We're going to find this photograph of the teddy bear. And you did enjoy it. You enjoy a cup of tea. Okay. Your gift from the spirit world is a cup of tea. All right. Yeah. Well, they're sharing one. A virtual cup of tea with mum and dad. The revisit. We could be together all the time, mum and dad in spirit, but we choose not to. Okay. Right. Okay. And she is your mum that was saying that. We can have time together, but not all the time. We have separate existences up here. We've come together today to show you our love for you. Okay, but you understand the point of separation. Right. Brilliant. Shirley, you've understood that? I have. Do you want me to draw the teddy bear for you so you do remember him? I can't draw it. But I know there was teddy bear there. There's a poem about him as well. There's a poem that you have written about your teddy bear. Have you got your poem book with you this weekend? No. Okay. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find this bear, Shirley, and we will do that. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for working with us. And folks, we've come to the end of the opportunity to work with you. But it's been fantastic to work with you. Hopefully, you've all understood the mediumship and your art. I've been Ashley Robinson. Good job. Thank you very much. I think there's now the opportunity for some tea, coffee, and cake. Should be served in the lobby. Thank you, folks. Hey, let me give you a hug. Well done. That's brilliant. You did really good. You know, and I pushed you to do.